guys, welcome back to It's Only Makeup. This is Diana. This video is going to be all about false lashes. As a makeup artist, one of the most common concerns that I hear about are the application of false lashes. People are afraid, they're intimidated, they don't know how to do it, they don't know how to keep them on, they don't know how to take them off, they don't want to take them off, they want to sleep in them because their eyelashes are on fleek. That's definitely a no-no. Let's get started first with the tools that you'll need. Of course, you'll need a pair of false lashes of your choice. They could be natural, dramatic, or whatever you'd like. For this example, I'm going to use a dramatic lash so you can see them very clearly on camera. You'll also need some type of tool to apply the lash, either an eyelash tool or a tweezer, or your fingers. You'll also need scissors to trim the lashes to customize them to the length of your eye. You will need eyelash glue. I prefer Duo. This last tool is optional. This is an eyelash curler that will crimp the false lash to your natural lash. You could also use your fingers to do the same thing. Let's get started. The first thing you want to do is to start with clean hands. Make sure that your hands are sanitary and that they're washed because you'll be touching your eye. You don't want any bacteria from your hand to get into your eye. Next, you want to apply mascara to your own lashes. That will help with the life expectancy of the false lash. That's less product that you'll have to clean off the lash. So apply your mascara to your own lash first. The next thing you want to do is look at your lash and determine which lash fits which eye. Lashes are generally shorter on one end and longer on the other end. And in this case, this lash is short on this side and long on this side, which means that when you flip the lash around, it will go on your left eye. So the important thing to do is determine which eyelash is which, because you don't want to put the lashes on the wrong side and have flared in on the inside and it'll be uncomfortable. I'm applying my right false eyelash first. So I selected the lash that is for my right eye, and the way that I can tell is the side that's on the inside or closest to my nose has the shorter lashes, and the side on the outside has the longer flared lashes. So you can tell that that's going to sit on your eye and flare out towards the outside of the eye. The next step is to measure the lash to your eye. So what you want to do is to look into the mirror, look down into the mirror, hold the lash with your lash applicator on the tip of the lashes like so that it curves out, and this is how it will sit on your lash. And you want to simulate the lash going onto your lash line. You want to sit the lash on the little fold of your eye between your eyelash and the little fold over on your eye. You want to sit it so that it looks comfortable, or it fits comfortable from the inside to the outside. Now you don't want your lash to go all the way to the inner corner and be uncomfortable, and you don't want it to sit all the way out to the outer corner. Be patient because this will take some time to figure out what length you like to have your lashes. If your lashes are too long, they will irritate you probably immediately, and you'll know that that's not the right length. So you just have to keep practicing to determine what the right length is for the lash that you like. But what you do is you sit the lash there. It has a little bit of glue from the packaging, but that's not enough glue. So don't stop there. You just need to sit it there and determine how long you want to have your lash. This lash is just a little longer than I'd like. Once you've measured the lash and determined how long or short you want your lash, now you can begin to trim the lash to customize it to your own lash bands. Hold the lash with your lash applicator, grab your scissors, and I'm gonna trim these last two notches of lashes. Always trim from the outside or the longer side, and just make sure that the end is smooth, just like that. And if you want, you can just place this back on your lash to see if it fits properly, and if it does, you can continue with the application or continue to trim to the length that you want the lash. Next, you want to apply your glue to your lash. To make this a little bit easier, a little bit more sanitized, what I do is I take the eyelash container, put a little bit of glue right in the center, just like that. That's more than enough. I grab my eyelash applicator, the back of it, and make sure that I've sanitized it. I scoop a little bit of the glue off of the container, just like that. And then I hold the lash and I put a small amount of glue on the lash band right at the tip. Now, the less glue you put on, the easier it will be to take off and to maintain. You only need a little bit of glue. If you can see that, that's more than enough glue on that band. The next step is to let the glue dry for 30 to 45 seconds. It's also a good idea to flex the lash so that it will fit the curve of your eye a little easier. But it's very important not to blow on your lash. You have bacteria in your mouth and you don't want that to get on your lash or in your eye. So you can either allow it to just sit in the air or you can fan it. And you want the glue to become tacky so that when it sticks to your lash line, that it will grab it and have a little bit of hold and not slide around. This will allow you to properly adhere the lash to your lash line so you can properly place it in the areas that it needs to be placed. So we're gonna wait 30 to 45 seconds for the glue to get tacky so we can properly apply it to our eyelash line. Now that our glue is tacky, we want to sit the lash onto our lash line, and we want it to fit into the little lip that is between where the eyelash is and the lower part of the lid. You take your lash, you sit it into that little lip, and I like to place the center first. Just pop it in, grab your lash adhesive, and sit the outside under the outside of the lip, and then grab the inside and place it under the lip. It's important to have your mirror down so that you can look down and into the mirror, and just place it underneath that lip, just like that, so that the lash band is sitting just below that lip and where your hair comes out. You want the band to sit in here, just like that. So now that the lash is on, you want to sort of lift up slightly so that it doesn't just sit straight out. And here's an optional step. You can take your fingers and crimp the lash to your natural lash, or if you have an optional lash curler, you can do the same thing by just inserting the lash curler around the lash and crimping the lash to your natural lash, just like that. So your lash is applied. This may take some practice. It may take you several times to get it right, but keep practicing. Practice makes perfect. I remember when I was deathly afraid to apply an eyelash, but it just takes practice. Be patient. If you're gonna be doing this before an event, make sure you give yourself plenty of time and take your time. On my other eyelash, I'm gonna show you another helpful tip that will make it probably easier to apply your lash. If I have a client who is very unsure about applying lashes, or someone who's just asking me, one of the suggestions that I will make is to cut the lash in half so you're not applying a long lash. So I'm gonna cut the lash in half and I'll be right back. I've cut my lashes in half and this is the outer half, and I'm gonna apply it using the exact same method. I clearly prefer the method that keeps the lash intact because you can tend to have a little spacing or gapping, but it may be easier for application. If you use a more natural lash, the spacing or gapping will probably not be so apparent. That comes with practice. If you're going to cut them in half, the more that you do it, the more proficient you'll be in placing them close together. So we have the lashes on, they're applied, and you've done a fantastic job. Once your lashes are applied, you want to make sure that you keep all of your tools sanitary. So make sure that you clean all of your lash application tools with alcohol. Now that we've applied the false lashes, the important thing is taking them off. I never recommend that you just lift the lashes off of your lash. That can pull out your natural lash and cause your lashes to thin. And you don't want to do that because you don't want to wear false lashes all the time. You want to maintain your natural lashes in a healthy way. If you have opted to use a waterproof glue, you will need a remover to help remove the lash. But make sure you use a gentle remover. For this example, I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Sensi waterproof eye cleaner. It looks like that. And what you would do is you would take a Q-tip, take a little of the eyelash remover and rub it along the band just to get it moisturized. Let it sit for about 30 seconds to a minute so it will loosen up the glue. And then you can lift the lash right off. That will allow the lash to come off with no pulling, no tugging, and you'll be least likely to lose any of your natural lash. The majority of the time that I apply my own lashes or lashes on clients, I do not use waterproof glue. This duo glue is water soluble. So what I recommend is that you take a few drops of water, make sure you have a clean finger, and drop the water right along your lash band, just like this. Just a few drops of the water. And what this will do is it will loosen up the glue so that the lash can be lifted right off. And you only need a few drops, just right along that lash band. Let the water sit for about 30 seconds to a minute. Once the 30 seconds is up, you should be able to easily lift the lashes off of your natural lash, just like this. Now let's move on to cleaning the lash, preserving it, and storing it. The next important step to preserving your lashes is to clean them. So now that you've removed your lashes, the most important thing is to clean them. What you want to do is gently hold the lash in your non-dominant hand, take a Q-tip or a cotton swab, and wipe it along wherever the glue is. And this is why it's important to use as little glue as necessary to adhere them, so you don't have as much to remove. Let that sit for a few seconds, and then gently with your dominant hand, gently pull whatever remaining glue is on that lash. It's important that you not use a lot of glue when you adhere your lash so that it doesn't get caught up in the lash hair. If it gets caught in the lash hair, it's a little more difficult to remove. It's not impossible, but it will just take a little bit more effort. So the lash is been cleaned of the glue, and I'm going to repeat the same process with the short lashes. Now that the glue has been cleaned off of the band, you want to make sure that you sanitize your lashes. And all you need to do is just spray them lightly with alcohol, as I'm doing right here. Get a clean towel, and then just make sure that you dry the lash and the band. You want to preserve your eyelash container because this is where you'll store your cleaned lash. You'll place them back in the container. They may or may not stick, but just keep them in there to store them, just like that. And place the top back on the container. And this will store your lash until the next time. I have this nifty little eyelash holder that I store my lashes in, and it looks like that. So I clean my lashes after every use, and I just drop them in here, and they're ready to go for the next time. You don't have to have a container like this, but if you keep your eyelash container, you can store your lashes back in the original packaging, and that keeps them safe and protected from dust and the environment. All right, so that is it. That is my how-to, when to, what to do, what not to do about false lashes. If you have any questions about the methods that I use or the products, Make sure you leave them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer the questions. Hopefully, I answered all of your burning questions about how to apply, measure, remove, store, clean, and preserve your false lashes. False lashes are a beautiful addition to your makeup application, and they can really turn a simple look into a dramatic look in just a few easy steps. The most important thing is that you're safe and you're sanitary while you're applying the lashes. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you learned a lot and I hope you're able to now do your own lashes. Thank you to all of my new subscribers for joining me, and thank you for my current subscribers for supporting me. Make sure you're following me on all of my social media platforms. Everything is It's Only Makeup. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Periscope, Instagram, all of that. Everything is It's Only Makeup. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, stay pretty. Deuces.